You think you can skip Ghost Rider? No, 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 no. Ghost Rider is the #1 character for everyone. What's the difference between using him as a striker or a standalone character? What's the value you're gonna get? What CTP you should equip? Let's go! Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through a video for Ghost Rider as a striker, which is the most important use of him, and also as a standalone character for ABX, World Boss Legend, GBR, and I'm gonna swap multiple CTPs, Mighty Rage, Brilliant Judgment, and generally I'm gonna give you advices on how to pick CTP for a specific category of characters, which is striker, and how a striker tier 4 is working on this specific way, the #1 striker in the game the last 1 year, and he keeps going on. He is busted, guys. The Halloween around the corner. Happy Halloween, everyone. I put some decoration for the live stream, but yeah, I'm recording also right now, so yeah, happy Halloween. In a couple of days they're gonna drop the deals for Halloween, so be careful guys. If you did the mistake ignoring the fact that Ghost Rider is busted the previous Halloween, now it's your time, and it's totally worth for new players, for free to play, for veterans. Everyone should have this character, and I'm gonna give you multiple reasons later on. So before we go through that, guys, I want you to make sure that you have smashed the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know down below in the comments if you already have Ghost Rider or are you going to buy it, and if you have him, what CTP you have equipped on him, because that's really important about this case. So let's start from somewhere, and let me show you the build I have right now on my Ghost Rider. You need to consider that it's really important to see what kind of team up collection you have. I have 3 additional peers, which is not like the best you could. It goes up to 10%, so yeah, I have like 120,000 energy attack, and that's because the CTP I'm using that provides you also extra all attack, but in the same time I have him full on Odin's Blessing. So we're gonna talk about his rotation, we're gonna talk about everything, but the important thing is the moment you buy this uniform and you do tier 4 the character, he is day 1 really good. He doesn't need his artifact to perform for PvE. Otherwise, for PvP, you need his CTP because he's good for PvP too. Yeah, Ghost Rider is good for everything actually, and I totally suggest you to go for him. The problem here is that he is not meta for ABL or ABX. He is not the best character to pick for any content on ABX and ABL, but he is really strong as a human, hero, and universal. He is kind of unique in that category, and generally human leadership and all this tag that used multiple times for Black Swan and Proxima, and he is one of the best characters to use for this specific World Boss Legend. So let's start from the striking ability and how this makes your characters hit harder, and what's the best CTP you should use for him. The point is that his 4th skill, it's really strong. It's one of the strongest 4th skills inside the game, and for some reason it's really strong because this buff here, gives him, it's like a proc 150. So every time you're using his 4th skill, he's proccing on that. So you need to combine this ability here with a really strong CTP, and you need to consider that really strong CTP is the one that have the biggest proc for from Judgment ability. The elemental damage you're seeing here. The normal energy and judgment, but actually energy and destruction also works. If you have a destruction and an energy with a really high proc here, it's going to do damage, but generally the elemental damage that provides a judgment, a mighty judgment or a brilliant judgment, it's equal to a proc. So the just 200% damage compared to 200% elemental damage for a character like Ghost Rider or any character that actually provides you elemental type damage. It's the best. So Judgment and Raids is the best CTPs to use for him. But if you don't have that, you want to use something with a big proc here and perhaps fire damage here as an obelisk, you know. Generally speaking, his rotation, it's not proc friendly, so I would suggest you to use, if you want to use him as a standalone character, also a Judgment or a Raid. The CTPs I used actually to test him are here. One of them is here actually, and it's this one. It's this one. Why I'm using Brilliant Judgment and Mighty Raids with all attack is because whatever the CTP has as an extra ability, you're not getting advantage of it during the striking ability. So even if the Judgment, the Mighty Judgment, as you can see here, can have an extra ability, Judgment, the best ability to use for Judgment as a character, you know, it's this one. 40% increase skill damage by 40% and 70% skill damage type. So this is the best to use if you're gonna use the character to do damage. But if you want to use the character as a striker, the best to use is the all attack. And why is that? This ability is this ability for Mighty Judgment or a Mighty Raids is an ability that needs you to do something inside the game, like walking for Judgment, energy and distraction. But for Raids you need to build up using skills. So because the character is just standing there and doing his 4th skill as a striker, he's not building the thing that he to enable and Raids or the type amplification here. So if you don't build this up, the only advantage you're getting is from the final proc. So for a Mighty Judgment, this is the best. For a mighty Raids, this is the best, the 0.9, the 200 for Judgment. But also, if you go into Brilliant CTPs, you also want the all attack as a buff. And you want the all attack as a buff because this provides the character passively extra damage. 20% extra damage. So the 20% extra damage, it's passively on your character, and your character is producing more tier 4th skill through his striker striker ability while using other characters. So that's why you're preferring always for strikers this kind of CTPs. I have similar to my Thor, and a lot of people if you have watched a lot of people using Black Widow with an energy attack, with an energy CTP with all attack, also because Black Widow is the 2nd best after Ghost Rider, at least for ABX. For ABL is Thor, but yes, so all attack, it's the most important to have as the CTPs is Mighty or Brilliant. And after, you need to consider that you need the max proc here and the max proc here. So that's why I'm using my Ghost Rider with, I'm using him with all 3 CTPs, this Mighty Raids, a Brilliant Judgment, and also a Brilliant Raids. But the thing is that I don't have a Brilliant Raids with all attack, so I used this one with 300%. So we're gonna compare these 3 CTPs on him as a striker while I'm using Luna. Let's fast forward through that. I'm not gonna let you to see all the run, but this is with the Mighty Raids pretty much. Well, I'm using here. I'm using, you can see, Ghost Rider with a Mighty Raids with all attack, double all attack, and I managed to get 15.3 million. I did exactly the same test with my Brilliant Judgment. The team I use also, it's the no restriction team I'm using for Luna in ABL, and this is the score I took with a Brilliant Judgment, 15.6, which is my average score on the no restriction day. So Mighty Raids all attack gives you, as you saw, 15.3. The Brilliant Judgment provides you 15.6, so the difference, it's not big, and that's because generally speaking Raids is supposed to be better than Judgment generally. but because it's not a lot of people having brilliant raids to spend as on strikers. If you have a brilliant judgment, this is the best second option to go for. And let me show you why I'm saying that, because you can see here 15.6. so the difference between it's half a million here, half a million there. And let me show you brilliant raids. The brilliant raid's supposed to be the best, but you have to consider that I'm not even using the best rolled brilliant raids on my Ghost Rider. So my Ghost Rider with these brilliant raids that does not provide all attack gave me 16.1. So I took half, it's almost 1 million difference from mighty raids to brilliant raids, and also the brilliant raids not having the all attack. So the difference is going to be even bigger. Generally speaking, for the raids, you want the 1.2% proc or the 1.1. The one, it's pretty much like a raid. But generally, you can see the different builds up slowly depending on the CTP you are using on your Ghost Rider. And guys, there is multiple tests. There is no other striker provides you this damage. The rest of the striker gonna give you at least 1 million less whatever CTP you're using with the striker, except Thor for some reasons, from some seasons actually, that he can provide a lot doing the soak on his striking ability and also provides damage. My Thor also has an all attack, mighty raids because of that. But yes, enough with the striking, enough with all this. Let's go to see what the actual character can do right now in multiple game modes. And something extra hit here for World Boss Legend, like Black Swan, that a lot of people using Ghost Rider to burn the shield and swap him into other DPS like Luna to do the main source of damage. Actually, vice versa, you use Luna to break the shield and Ghost Rider to do the damage. You need to consider that if you use Ghost Rider as a striker in the same team and you're using also Ghost Rider, when you swap from the character that you're using striking ability of Ghost Rider to Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider is going to be out of proc because the tier 4 ability using his CTP, so while you're using the character and you start playing with him, he can't proc. He can't proc for a couple of seconds until he has the proc ready again to refresh. So the CTPs are using the same, cooldown on the proc, even if the character is a tier 4 striker or you're using the character. So be careful on that. I was doing a mistake on that and having trouble to proc. But yeah, let's go into content and let's start from the thing that I'm doing daily with him. No doubt I'm not losing one single day not using him in GBR. For GBR, I'm using the team up with all Ghost Riders, I mean Ghost Panther and Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. And you can see here I'm using a Brilliant Judgment, and you can tell because there's no little bar below me, it's not a mighty or whatever that need to charge. You can see the enemies that I'm fighting with, but yeah, I'm burning down the boss myself. I'm using Loki here as a striker because I was trying to take advantage of Ghost Rider combined to Loki on my zombie survival progress a couple of weeks ago. This video is a long time. I have recorded all this long time when I had the CTP unequipped 100% from the deal I had bought, because I wanted to do all this swapping on the CTPs without paying anything actually and being free. So you saw the difference between Luna in Mighty, Brilliant Raids or Brilliant Judgment. You need to understand that Mighty Judgment, it's below Mighty Raids, this is common sense, but I'm just mentioning for the people who want to know the difference between normal raids or normal Judgment. I don't even have normal CTPs, guys. Somehow I have only Mighties on my inventory. So yeah, Brilliant Judgment here, 220 proc. That means that it's not the best Brilliant Judgment you can find, and it's the all attack. If I had the type amplification, I would not get the maximum out of his tier 4, but I would do more damage. And this is an example here to show you what I'm doing every single day with the Brilliant Judgment. Let's go and swap into content that I'm going to compare his performance with every single CTP too. he used to be the best character to use for ABX until Wanda came into the game. But yes, this is how you should play with him on ABX. You're starting with first and second skill, going into your third skill, delay canceling into your fifth, and after dropping your fourth skill. Until then, you're probably gonna have your tier 4 also, and you wanna spam it as more as you can. A really good striker also is Doctor Strange for some game modes. Yes, and I'm testing him here too. As you can see, I don't have a bar below me. It's not like I'm using a Mighty or Brilliant or something else. I'm using Brilliant Judgment right now. And the Brilliant Judgment I'm using was the one I was using when he was meta 2. And I was having kind of struggle. I was kind of struggling to get the last reward, which was at 15 million before the the changes they did on the game mode. And now we have like 22 million or something. 28 actually. Disgusting. So you can see here that he is not like super good compared to Wanda. My Wanda hits 17 million, can hit 18 probably if I swap a bit here build. I have a 3-star artifact, and artifact helps for Wanda. But you can see here how I'm using him with the Brilliant Judgment. Pretty much I end up doing something less than 15 million. I fast forward the run just for you, 14.6. And let me show you his performance with the Brilliant Rage to compare. The Brilliant Rage is the best CTP for ABX and ABL, and you can see how fast the bar below my name, below my health bar is charging so fast, because the Brilliant Rage provides you extra, extra chances when you hit a skill. It's charging faster than a Mighty. And you can see there that I'm already better than before if you holding the timers. But pretty much in the end of the day, the difference, it's not huge, and it's a score that I was actually sacrificing, 15.2 compared to 14.6, it's 500,000. And I was sacrificing this performance, and I was using him with a Brilliant Judgment just because having the Brilliant Judgment on him was helping more, and I wasn't having a lot of Brilliant Raids to use. So yes, as a standalone character, you need a Rage or a Judgment or a mini proc with fire damage, in my mind, But generally speaking, he's not the best these days for ABL or ABX. So if you wanna invest on him, the day 1 value where you're gonna have his uniform and tier 4 it with a Judgment or a Rage is for sure GBR. He's so busted. I'm using him. He's smooth. If you have his artifact also, he's not dying, so it's not like the run gonna be F up. So even if you don't pay attention and you are working while you're doing your dailies, so yeah, not like I'm doing that. Yes, day 1 value as a striker, day 1 value for GBR, and for ABX and ABL, he's falling behind. To be honest, having Wanda, it was a game changer for this day. But let me show you what he's also doing raids compared to Judgment for all the rest of the World Boss Legend. This is stage 9 of Proxima. I'm using one support and his own lead, the support of Storm here. It was the day I was doing the records, that's why I have Loki as a striker always. Yeah, I told you it's like more than 10 days ago. Here we're seeing him using a Brilliant Judgment again, and how he's performing against this new World Boss Legend Plus. If you have trouble clearing it, Ghost Rider is doing it easy peasy. And you can see his performance here. Actually, it's smooth, half a minute into the stage, and I'm already in the middle of the fight. Of course, it's with my account. It's not like everyone, if you get this, you're gonna do it. For sure, guys, you need to understand that the 4th skill, it's the main source of damage, so you don't want to mess with your 4th skill. You want to stay there, even if you are going to get any damage or whatever, you want to stay there and get the damage. Also, his tier 3 skill, you can immediately cancel it. I'm letting it like 1 or 2, actually half a second or something, just to be sure that I press it or something. But generally speaking, yeah, it's not like you're waiting your tier 3 to do damage. the main source is on your third skill with the accumulation. As you can see here, with the Brilliant Judgment, I cleared the stage in 1 minute and 18 seconds. And let me show you what was with the Brilliant. With the Brilliant Rage, so you can, decide what you're gonna equip at the end of the day. This is, as I told you, a Brilliant Rage, and he is kind of, doesn't really seems to have difference. Generally speaking, Rage is performing worse than Judgment for World Boss Legend, but of course it's a Brilliant Rage, and there is extra buffs that you're getting. And you can see I did it even faster with a Brilliant Rage, but you need to understand that this is the best rolled Brilliant Rage to do damage. It's a 300 critical damage compared to my Judgment, which is brilliant, but it doesn't have the type amplification buff. It does have only the all attack. So for something like Proxima, feels to be the same. Generally speaking, I feel like doesn't really have huge difference until you start using the type amplification on your Judgment, or else the results having an all attack mighty or brilliant Judgment compared to a Rage that has the enraged buff that gives you the 200% proc extra, the 200% critical damage per critical hit extra gives you more, so gives you actually the same. So let me show you Kang, and Kang is the strongest World Boss Legend. It's not exactly the strongest, it's actually the last World Boss Legend we had, so he's supposed to get the less damage than everyone else. Here is with a Brilliant Rage. Also you can see him jumping under, you can see my character charging the bar, and the bar goes off really fast. And look at this, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. Took me only 25 seconds to go, 27 seconds to go into the next phase with the Brilliant Rage. Let's go into the Mighty Rage, that it's the one that I suppose most of the people is going to use. This is an all attack Mighty Rage, the one that I saw you into the beginning, 0.9 proc and also 20% all attack. You can see I'm struggling to go as fast as I was doing it with the Brilliant Rage, because also Brilliant Rage you need to consider having 1.2 proc compared to 0.9 that has the Mighty. But yes, you can see the difference. It's not like huge or something. Took me 10, 20 or something more seconds. Let's go to see. Okay, it's like, to be honest, it's like 20 seconds slower using Mighty Rage compared to Brilliant Rage for him on stage 50 of Kang, right? Stage 50. And let's see how the Brilliant Judgment, where it lands. This is exactly the same run. Let's fast forward for you. As you can see, I don't have the proc again. It's the all attack Judgment I was using before, and 39 seconds. It's closest to, actually, it's closest to the all attack Mighty Rage, my Brilliant Judgment performance, instead of the Brilliant Rage. So yeah, you need to consider that while you're using the all attack, your damage is getting lower, but it's worth it because you're getting more damage as a striker, which is his main use. Overall, guys, whatever CTP you're going to use, Ghost Rider is going to provide to your account day one, even if you just have him with a CTP, and tier 4 as a striker and not using him. He's going to provide you every single day for World Boss Legend, for ABX, for ABL. He is the #1 on all this, and I just tried here to show you the difference between using a Mighty or a Brilliant, and also comparing the all attack to not all attack and all these situational CTPs you could use. So if you don't have any CTP, the proc, a fire damage proc obelisk will perform better for him as a striker. And if you don't have a CTP and you want to use him as a standalone character, I suggest you a mini rage with fire and the mini rage proc again or something similar, because he's not like proc friendly. You're using the proc only as a striker, because as a striker, the one hit he's gonna do, he's gonna proc. There is no chance. This is how the game is coded. So the moment you do your 4th skill, your character popping out the CTP immediately. So that was it. I hope I helped you decide if you're gonna buy him. I hope I helped you decide what CTP you're gonna equip. See you into the next. Kisses in your faces.